Empowered by the holy light and the undying strength of their convictions, the Draenei led the charge against the demonic Burning Legion in Outland. Now, with the Legion's defeat, they have completed the desperate mission that first brought them to Azeroth. Though some Draenei were sent back to Outland to revitalize their former civilization, the majority have vowed to remain and uphold their sacred commitment to the Alliance. Driven by a powerful vision, the immortal prophet Velen believes that a great war between the darkness and the light is fast approaching, and that Azeroth will be its principal battleground. As one of Velen's chosen, you must stand bravely before the Shadow and ensure that your people are ready for the war to come.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Adam Wolf from Gamers Platform, and welcome to a brand new series here on my channel. It's a series called The Lore of It All. I don't know where I came up with that. I thought it sounded funny, but also kind of, points out the obvious nature of this video series, and it simply stems from the fact that I don't know anything. I claimed all these years to be a huge fan of World of Warcraft, but I know absolutely nothing about the story. And it kind of opened my eyes to the idea that I don't know much about a lot of the games that I play in terms of their story, if they have a good one anyway. World of Warcraft, being one of the largest MMOs in the world, easily has the most extensive backstory. And I recently watched a video that was about 40 minutes long, but, that isn't long enough to cover the entirety of the beginnings of Warcraft, the origins, going through, who the old gods were and where all these races came from, why they're fighting, so on and so forth. But in this series, we will be covering all the quests. I want to say all the quests because each area, of course, has a certain number of quests to finish, and, you get a nice little achievement for it. But the point is that how many of us have actually played this game, or any MMO for that matter, and just kind of breezed through the questing because we wanted to do the instance runs or the raids or whatever, we just wanted to get to the top level, but never really took the time to actually read the quests. I know I am absolutely guilty of that, and recently I started reading the quest, and it turns out there's a lot of good stories to be told in this game. So that's what we're going to be doing for this video series. I am playing a Draenei priest, because the Draenei were actually among the first to, if I remember correctly, I believe they were among the first to arrive in Azeroth and are also imbued with the holy light, and so therefore it makes them perfect to be priests. Now, the male priest does not look very good as a Draenei, so I've chosen to be a female. I do want to actually be a Shadow Priest, because I love Shadow Priests, but apparently they've changed them a bit, and I'm curious as to what they've changed and whether they're still good or not. But I'm a huge fan of healing, but I want to see what the Shadow Priest looks like. But so I've chosen a female Draenei to play as a priest, and we are going to start right off at the beginning. Brand new character, and I'm going to take you guys on a journey with me. I will attempt to do some voice acting as we go along here for each of the characters that are not already voiced, and I don't know, just make it a little bit fun. So why don't we get started? Now, I've got a few add-ons installed here. I've got Titan Panel up top. I've got Healbot over here. I do have Recount, but I've turned it off because I don't need it. Now, when it comes to how long these videos are, the only thing I can think of is 2 hours long at least. As just like my Skyrim videos, but it's also like I'm really here to focus on the story, so really should I incorporate all of the traveling and the and the places that I go to finish the quest, or should I just kind of cut some things together and make it semi-short? I don't know. I'll have to see how I feel about it, and then we'll move on from there. But let's get going.
Each day is a blessing.
Never mind my injuries, sister. It's a miracle that any of us are alive. This is after the fact that they've actually been forced in through the portals and they've landed here. This is basically where they start. It didn't look like you pulled through. You've been in suspension for weeks. Something happened and the Exodar crashed. Many have died. But I'm relieved, that you are alive, Lexia. With you leading our efforts, I'm sure we'll get to safety soon. Proenitus? Ugh. I'm gonna butcher some of these names. Asked me to send you to him when you awoke. He's waiting for you at the bottom of the hill. Just follow the path southwest.
Safe journey.
Okay, so basically, you're one of the main characters. I'm gonna zoom the camera out a little bit here. I like it so that my character is like basically at in the center of my bar here. This is Ice HUD, by the way. It's a very nice little add-on that I actually enjoy. So, a few add-ons, nothing too crazy. I haven't set up Healbot. But, again, I must emphasize, this series is about the lore, not the gameplay. So, that's what we're here for. If you're interested in the story of World of Warcraft, welcome. I am too. And it's just, and I've been informed that this version of Warcraft is not the same as vanilla version of Warcraft. I actually do have access to some private servers, one that is vanilla 1.12, one that is Burning Crusade, and one that is Wrath of the Lich King. All very legitimate servers. I'm not going to name what they are because I'd rather not. I love Blizzard to death, but I'd rather them not knock out any more servers like they did with Nostarius. If you know what I'm talking about, you know how annoying and devastating that kind of was. Lexia, by my eternal soul, it is good to see you. I don't know why the Exodar crashed. Only those of us that were in this part of the ship remain. There's not much time, if we're to save everyone that we can. Oop, that was a terrible...
Good health.
Not reading the punctuation. Our immediate concern is the depleted state of our healing crystals. We must replenish them quickly. Unfortunately, the only way to do this at this point is to extract the blood from local Veil moths. Their blood will make us for a suitable substitute. The moths can be found in many places around the Veil, but they are mostly concentrated to the northwest. So again, you know, normally I would go and just, you know, not even think twice about why I was doing all this. You know, I'd just get the quest and I'd start just going killing things. But never really stopped to think about, why am I going out here to kill these Veil moths? Like, what's the point? Why do I need their blood? And, well, it's nice to see that now I know why. Because we need to replenish our healing crystals, and their blood is going to be a good substitute to do so. But I never really knew why I was coming out here to collect their blood. And I think that was the biggest issue. You know, and again, a lot of this was sparked due to my excitement for Battle for Azeroth, but also my disappointment in myself for claiming to be a fan of this game, because I've been playing it since Burning Crusade, or at least I've been around, I've had an account and a character since then. But I never really dove deep enough into the story of the game. I never played the original Warcraft and or any of its successors, and you know, all that works itself into World of Warcraft, and the story continues from here.
Blessings upon you.
Regrettable that those creatures had to die so that we might live. Indiscriminate killing is not the Draenei way. However, the blood you gathered will replenish our healing crystals so that their deaths will not be in vain. One slippers. Now that you've gathered all that we need to replenish our health crystals, or healing crystals, I need you to deliver the vials of... boy, my reading skills are top-notch. Deliver the vials to Zaldun, our priest. You'll find him tending to our wounded inside the central chamber of the ship. So really, these aren't buildings. This is actually part of the ship that they came here in. Who would have thunk? So yes, this is going to be a much slower playthrough than normal, but I think it's important. It's certainly important to me, and if you're at all interested in any bit of the story, or, you know, any of these stories, really, they're not all pertaining to the main story, but if you're at all interested in just having a good story time, I think this is be the series for you, as well as for me.
May the light embrace you.
Hello, priest. What have you there? Is it for me? Good work. This will do nicely to replenish our depleting health crystals. I keep saying health crystals, healing crystals. But now that you are here, I think I might have another use for you, if you're willing. I honestly don't know what prompts me to give everybody a slight British accent, but, you know, I don't know. The healing crystals are replenished, but that is not the only way we can help the injured. All Draenei can tap the gift of the Naru to heal. No! You're walking away. Why'd you do this?
Open your heart to the light.
This is where I go into here. I didn't even accept it. You must use this ability to heal one of the crash survivors. You'll find most of the survivors in the areas to the west and northwest, but the crash scattered us all over the Vale. The survivors have suffered from exposure to the irradiated power of power crystals, so you should be able to find them by the red glow that surrounds them. Okay. Irradiated is right. Holy crap. They are glowing.
Good fortune.
And I'm probably not going to remember what accents I gave you. Ah, you're really loud. Lexia, botanist, Terex. Terox? Is that an I? I don't know. I think that's an I. Is in need of your assistance. You'll find her with her apprentices to the west, outside the ship.
Be kind to those less fortunate.
I know that they're Russian, so me giving them these weird accents makes no sense. They have mostly Russian accents. I just wish I could do one that wasn't offensive. Greetings, friend. Obviously, women is not going to be my forte. Oh, thank goodness you've come. We have much to do.
Blessings upon your family.
The irradiated power cores from the Exodar have been wreaking havoc on the environment here. The most obvious effect has been the appearance of the strange creatures that seem to have sprung up near them. There may be something we can do to help them, but now their sheer numbers are becoming too much for us to handle. I'd like you to go out and cull their numbers somewhat, and perhaps I'll have another idea after giving it some thought.
Be kind to those less fortunate.
So, these guys are wreaking havoc. I gotta get rid of them. Ever since, I didn't need to pick that up, but let's be honest, I do need money. Alright, so I also have Bagnon, so it's going to look pretty small right now. Ever since ending Blitzkrieg, it doesn't mean I've wanted to stop playing these games, for sure. I did say I was going to get to episode 100 and then end it, but it just didn't seem like it really mattered. And I was not enjoying it as much as I did at first. You know, making the videos and really doing all the editing that I wasn't sure if I wanted to do, or... And it's not like I don't like editing, obviously. I make new stuff all the time, but... for that series, I was going back and forth with how to edit each video and each type of game and all this other stuff, and I just, you know, it just was never good. Also, I felt as though I was just... If I was to, say, play this game and Diablo and StarCraft and Hearthstone and Heroes of the Storm and all these other things, depending on how many games I had in the whole series, it would take at least... between each game 4 to 5 weeks before I'd come back to those games. And that's not good, because then I lose my progress, basically, for myself. I basically don't remember what happened. I'm gonna just do that. Yeah. The last thing I remember is the ship falling and us getting into the pods. I'll go see how I can help. Thank you. So I would basically just not know where I was, what the story was, and I think that's kind of messed up, you know. And so that's another reason why I'm just like, you know, I stopped it, because I didn't know what I was doing anymore in the games themselves. You're finished? That's good news. Hopefully we can find a way to avoid the killing of these mutated beasts in the future. I believe I have formed a plan that might give us an alternative solution to this problem, but I will need your help. The nearby lake, not lakes, has been contaminated by one of the ship's power crystals. Many of the plants and animals of Amen Vale have been mutated because of this. Is she crying? I have a theory on how to heal the lake, but I must have the samples from the mutated lashers for analysis. They can be found to the west in the Amen Fields. Will you help me, priest?
Good health, long life.
Okay. The Amen Fields to the west are primary breeding ground of the local lasher population. With the corruption of the water table from the nearby lake, botanist Terex is worried that the lashers will not be able to repopulate themselves once we've cleansed the lake. Go to Amen Fields and pick some of the corrupted flowers for me so that I might take a look at them and see what can be done. You should be able to identify them by their uncharacteristic red petals.
May your days be long and your hardships few.
Again, I know the Draenei are primarily a Russian accent, but I mean, I could do one. It just wouldn't sound great. Rolling my R's at the right time and everything. It's just it would be a mess. I'm not kidding.
Naru have not forgotten us.
The light be praised. You've done what only a true hero. I tried right there. I freaking messed it up. Could have done. Lexia, the Draenei you saved owes their continued life to your selflessness. Please, take this supply pouch. You look like you could use it more than I.
Kind to those less fortunate.
Alright, so we have an extra bag. Oop, out this way. We got more quests. But yeah, a lot of these, you know, again, getting the corrupted flowers, getting the lasher samples. Didn't know why I was doing it. Now I do. The water in the lake is corrupted, and we need to see if we can save the lasher population while trying to get rid of the corruption in the lake.
Blessings upon you.
We managed to recover a damaged holographic emitter from the crash. If we repair it, we'll have a chance to find other survivors outside of Amen Vale. There were devices from that ship that could be salvaged for spare parts in the area, but the local Alkin carried them off before we could get to them. Lexia, you must go south to Nestlewood Thicket and Hills to find the spare parts.
Remain vigilant.
Good fortune.
It's interesting that, you know, usually when you accept a quest, it'll do this little noise, and it doesn't seem to do it. Zana needs our help to salvage parts from the Exodar. Terex prepared an inoculum that can be given to the Nestlewood Alkin that live in the area of a lot of the salvage. Just get close to the unaffected ones and use the crystal on them. Unfortunately, you'll have to kill the others. You'll find the Alkin at Nestlewood Thicket and Nestlewood Hills to the southeast.
Remain vigilant.
So, I mean, they definitely gave most of these characters voice actors. Obviously. I'll try and give some of them a Russian accent. I mean, I just, you know, I don't want to embarrass myself even further since my reading skills are terrible. They're not terrible. I just, you got to read on the fly and try and think about, you know, what exactly, how to exactly say the words. This one. There we go. Now, I do have BOA gear. Quite frankly, I would like to experience the game without it. I know that's probably a bad idea, but I'm also trying to figure out if I even... No, not... But... Alright. This one... I want to try and experience the game without it. And also at the same time, I'm not sure if I'm going to be including instance runs in this series, to be honest. I know that dungeons have their own stories to tell. They have quests in them now and everything. But, man, I'm not entirely sure if I really want to focus on those right now. I think the meat of the story is in the quests. And so... I think I might leave dungeon runs out. But if you guys think that it's important to bring the dungeons in here, I mean, here's my problem with it, is because of the fact that if I go into a dungeon, obviously I'm going to grab the quests. The point of this is to learn the story, so that means reading it. But I'm not going to go into the dungeons and be like, hey, guys, random people that I've never met before, could I potentially could you wait for a second while I read the text on this quest? They're not going to wait. They're going to kick me from the group. Plain and simple. They'll just kick me from the group. So, needless to say, that's probably the biggest reason why I may not actually include the dungeons in here. But we'll have to see as we go along. But yeah, so I'm also not going to be using my BOA gear because I think I'd like to experience the game once again where it's not like ridiculously easy, even though it's easier than it used to be, believe me. After playing the these guys actually used to be aggro. After playing the vanilla version 1.12 the other day, it brought back, even Burning Crusade brought back major memories that I've had of this game from back in the day. What's crazy is that from 1.12 to Burning Crusade, they massively increased the experience gain in Burning Crusade from vanilla. You know, whereas it took like 5 hours to get out of the beginning area because, you know, a lot of the mobs were aggro, and it's not like they didn't give you a lot of XP, but or enough XP anyway, but they were definitely harder to kill. Burning Crusade definitely streamlined it a lot more. And so I didn't realize that even Burning Crusade, even though I started there, it was definitely a much harder game in 1.12. So, yeah, this game nowadays is just ridiculously fast, you know, for leveling purposes. So this is not really going to be that difficult without BOA gear. BOA gear just makes it even easier, and I'm just like, nah. I'd like to experience not having the same gear throughout the first 60 levels. That'd be great. That'd be great if I just, you know, maybe use actual regular gear. It's not like I have a thing against BOA gear, but, you know, again, you're looking at the same crap. And I know there's transmog in the game, or transmogrifying, but you need to collect those pieces in order to use them in your appearance. So, and if you don't have them, guess what? You're kind of limited on your choices of how your character can look. So, yeah, you know what? I'll just use, and not only that, but if you use BOA gear, you miss out on potential pieces of gear that you could add. All right, I'm just gonna continue on with the quests here. You could miss out on the potential pieces you could have to add to your transmog list. So there's ups and downs to BOA gear, but in this instance, I think it would be best to experience the game in years. I haven't experienced this game in years without using BOA gear. And BOA, for those of you who are unfamiliar with the term, is called bind on account. It's this gear that was basically and it's even easier now. You used to have to actually I can't remember. I think you had to go to the vendor and remake it every time you deleted it. Now you can just open up your character panel and just make it from there, which is
I need to target something first.
Oh, that's the other thing too, is that people can't just straight steal your kills anymore like they used to. You don't even have to be in a party to group up and kill things, which is great. As long as you hit it, it actually works. But anyway, so back to the BOA gear. Now all you need to do is just open up your character panel, and you can just make random pieces as often as you want. It doesn't really have any limitations or anything. But it's this gear that they introduced that you did have to earn. Okay, you still had to earn it, but it wasn't terrible. Once you had it, it was yours. That can go across all characters on the same realm, that is. Did not matter if it was Horde or Alliance. You had this gear that you could just make for yourself from level 1 to level 60, and then later on they added in the ability to upgrade these pieces, which is extremely expensive, by the way. Alright? It's ridiculously expensive. I just checked the pricing yesterday, and it was like, I'm not paying this. I'll just start getting actual gear at level 60. Forget it.
Target something first.
And so, yeah. So it definitely makes it easier because the gear levels with you, which is the significance of it. And that's cool and everything, but at the same time, it's boring because you don't get any new gear. You're just always stuck with the same gear for like the first 60 levels, and I don't know. It bores me. I'd rather play this game now with no BOA gear, and I bet you I'd still have a fantastic time. So again, this video series will be like 2 hours, but like something like this will probably get cut. I don't know. I mean, it really depends on how I feel about the series as a whole, like how it comes out, and if you guys actually leave me comments in the video, I can gauge on what you guys like. You know, do you like the full fat 2 hours? You know, like a lot, like with Skyrim, or do you want this to be a more I use this term a lot lately, but a more streamlined experience? Do you want things kind of just like cutting so that way you don't have to go through all this, you know, running it out, killing things, whatever. You know, it's not always about what I want, okay? It's about what you guys want. And about what I want. You know, I'm doing this for me, but I'd like to do it for you guys as well. So let me know. Let me know in the comments if you want the full fat 2 hours, or do you not mind if things get cut to kind of just like get on with the story, you know what I mean? These will do. Thank you, priest. While you were out, I managed to gather some equipment together to make an analysis of the samples. This should only take a moment. Thank goodness. I think that'll work, or it'll work. I have an agent for you to spread at Silverline Lake to the south. It will neutralize the effects of the irradiated ship's power crystal that fell there. Swim out and scatter the neutralizing agent near it. Don't worry, you won't be exposed long enough to become irradiated.
Seek the path of
Irradiated. Gotta loosen my tongue up a little bit. These look like fine specimens. Thank you for performing the field work. Once I can find the time to analyze these, I should be able to tell what it will take to restore the fields. See? My reading is spot on. I'm not quite sure exactly how I'm looking to you guys right now. It's like, God, we watch this guy, he can't even read? I can read, my brain sees it before my mouth speaks it, so it's just like, I go stupid for a second. Spare parts. Let me take a look at those. Yes, I think these will do nicely. Good job, Lexia. The emitter is rather complex, so it may take some time to finish the repairs. I'll let you know when it's ready. In the meantime, you might see if Vindicator Alder has anything he could use you for. I know, I've got a couple pieces I really need to put on. That guy sounds like the guy who plays Illidan. With many of the Alkin now inoculated, we can focus on getting out of here and not have to worry about wiping out the Alkin population in the area. Here, choose from these. You've done good work, and you deserve to be rewarded. Elixir of Minor Defense, of Lion Strength. Probably defense because I am a squishy. We now have several separate confirmations of unusual activity up on the Shadow Ridge. This is disturbing. We thought that the scouting missions already undertaken had been thorough. One of my scouts hasn't reported back yet. Priest, I need you to head southwest to the other side of Silverline Lake and find Tolan and see what has delayed him. Why is he saying priest? I have a name, you know, and you're...
Of the past.
That's definitely the guy who plays Illidan. Seriously though, what was I saying? I don't even know now. Curse you, memory. Oh, Stuff. I need stuff. Here we go. There's pants and shoes. Sort. I typically use teabag. Teabag has always been my bag mod or add-on, excuse me. But it is not supported, I don't think. Jeremy said he was using it and it seemed to work fine for him, but it said that I was not able to use it, and even if I told it to load out-of-date add-ons, it did not work. My bag never, it just didn't show up. I would hit B, it would technically work. The bag was open, but it wasn't, I couldn't see it. So, unfortunately, it was not working right. Alright, so, I mean, now we know why we do all this, or why we're doing all this. We're going across the lake here to see about this scout that supposedly has been delayed. I think he's dead, though. I think he's dead. I'm not sure. I guess you could compare this series to Skyrim, because Skyrim I am basically playing in a similar fashion. You know, we're talking to everybody, we're reading the quests, or at least understanding what we're doing, and we're not using fast travel and all that stuff. This does not have fast travel. Oh no, he's not dead. Okay, there we go. Help! Blood elves. They ambushed me. Don't have long. You must eliminate the blood elf threat. Find out what they're up to. They're on the ridge behind me.
Blessings upon your family.
Boy, you don't sound hurt. Freaking blood elves. I'm kidding. I love the blood elves. My main character is a blood elf. But thanks to Battle for Azeroth, I am now very much in line with the Alliance. My very first character actually was an Alliance character. These guys actually used to be aggro as well, so they've definitely changed this. So this is a Shadow Word Pain. Let's see if they've changed that. A Word of Darkness that causes 11 shadow damage instantly, and an additional 99 shadow damage over 18 seconds. That sounds pretty much the same. But I'm very excited to get into being a Shadow Priest, because Shadow Priests are awesome. Sorry. But I've been really excited to get into this, and I hope you guys actually enjoyed that intro. I actually thought of it this morning, and threw it together, although, even though I threw it together, I think it came out quite well, actually. Like I said, I'm really excited about it, and I'm really excited about this entire series as a whole, because it means I get to really explore World of Warcraft and understand its lore a little bit better than I used to, for sure. You know, if I am to really understand this series, or this video game, and its story, I would have to really focus on, like, I'd have to read the novels. There are novels. There are comic books, even. I didn't even realize there were comic books for this video game, for the story of Warcraft. And World of Warcraft is certainly not going to fill in all the blanks. So that's what all the novels and books, and comic books are for. But I think I think Wikipedia and YouTube videos could do just enough for me to understand it a little bit more. Like that one video I watched, which basically just did a quick rundown as to why all this happened, or how all this happened. What's that guy's name? Saragossa? No, not Saragossa. Is it? I don't know. No, it's not Saragossa. That is a character, but that's not the one I'm thinking of. I don't know. There was one guy who wanted to rule the world, basically, and so he started all this crap. The reason I want to go with the Shadow Priest is because, again, I do like healing. Healing's actually a lot of fun, especially if you have Healbot. It makes it much easier to be a proper healer. But The reason I want to go Shadow Priest is because I love the idea of just throwing a bunch of dots. Dots are damage over time. For those of you who don't know, that's what that stands for. It's basically abilities that you throw onto... They're debuffs. So they're abilities you throw onto an enemy character, and it just does damage for you. You don't really have to do much. I just love the idea of just throwing dots on everything and just standing there and letting it just happen. These blood elves mean to kill us all. How are we to divert them from this course? I have a plan. We must kill their leader. Without their master, perhaps they will retreat to regroup. We just need to buy time until the repairs are complete. Then Vindicator Alder must know of this. Kill the surveyor, then return to him. Return and tell him what we've found. Words are a thing. All right. So one of the reasons I chose the Draenei female is because they look better as priests. Okay, the big bulky dudes just don't look right in robes. But at the same time, I mean, come on, look at her. Look at her. How gorgeous is this woman? Seriously though, the Draenei, I love the Blood Elf ladies, but whew, boy, Draenei women, not only do they come with an accent, but they are better looking than the Blood Elves, I dare say. And I love Blood Elves, okay? The female Blood Elves, they did it for me for many, many years. But then the Draenei came along, of course, then again, I think the Draenei came in with the Blood Elves, but I was on Alliance at that time, and so on and so forth. We got a quest here. These plans seem important. You should take them to Vindicator Aldar at the crash site. I will do that. But yeah, the Draenei women just look so good. I made sure that this one was basically all white, signifying, you know, priest. When you think of priests in RPGs, not in real life, those priests touch little boys. Priests in video games tend to wear all white and stuff like that. I know I'm going to be a shadow priest. It's just that when you're a shadow priest, you turn to purple, so it doesn't really matter what you're wearing. But overall, I'm playing priest, and I think it's important that I kind of look like one. So, but I've got the music on loop because, I don't know, it just feels weird. Like, you can have it not loop, which is fine, but it just sounds weird without anything in the background, like no music or anything like that. So I definitely kept it on loop because, I don't know, it just didn't sound right without the music going. And the music in this game is fantastic. It's some of the best music ever. I mean, just the theme song alone for World of Warcraft is just powerful. It's just awesome. That's been happening a lot lately. Things will just disappear and then teleport back to where they started. It's such a strange thing that's going on lately. I don't know why it's happening. I may need to increase my UI, but I don't know. It'll be good for now. I thank you for dealing with the Blood Elf Surveyor. Surely she was their leader. Rest assured, we will deal with whatever remnant of them is still nearby. Please take one of these weapons as a sign of my gratitude. Obviously, I'm going for the staff. That's what I've got on my back. I might as well go for the staff. Lexia, well, yeah, now he calls me Lexia. He said priest before. Lexia, while you were out investigating the Shadow Ridge, Zana here has been going on about the holographic emitter. You might want to speak with her.
Do not lose faith.
What have you got there? Here, let me read those plans. The Blood Elves have followed us here. They are evil to the core and should be wiped from existence. Vindicator takes a moment to regain his composure. I apologize. That was uncalled for. We are indebted to you for uncovering this information, Lexia. Ooh, he got a little angry. I sense some racism.
May the light embrace you.
I got it. I got it. I think I managed to fix the emitter. Here, I'll just get... Dude, go away. For... Oh, my God. Loud and obnoxious. That's all I'm thinking right now. This guy is seriously just being a total douche. Here, I'll just activate this last crystal, and that should do it. Take a look at the emitter, Lexia. It looks like it's beginning to work. Someone is appearing. Alright, let's see. Why is this guy jumping around? Does he think it's funny or something? Like, what are you doing? Go away, idiot. I'm just trying to read the text here. Greetings from blah 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 Azure Watch. Okay, so this guy's over at Azure Watch. By all that is good, Lexia, you must... Okay, so this is a lot of text, and... Sadly, this text actually kind of... Even though I can read it down here, it kind of goes by pretty quickly. Which is sad, because I really... You see all this, though? I mean, that's not... I mean, is that where it started? I don't even know now. See, I've already lost track of that. By all that is good, Lexia, you must go at once to the Azure Watch and speak with Daivun. I don't understand what that guy's purpose of driving around his stupid motorcycle was. There's a path that leads west off of this tiny isle. Follow it and cross the Crystal Brook River to arrive on the larger part of the isle. Continue to follow the path and you should find Azure Watch. See if you can convince them to send us some aid and supplies. The rest of us will follow when we can. Thank you. We wouldn't have made it without you. I mean, I really haven't done much, but... Okay, so we're going to go back around this way. Finish up this quest over here. You see what I mean, though? I'm understanding... And each starting area, of course, is different. But I'm understanding the Draenei story just by reading these quests and and doing, really understanding why I'm doing what I'm doing with most of these things. From what you described, the neutralizing agent worked. I just wish that I knew how long it would last. We really need to remove that power crystal from the lake entirely. Thank you, Lexia. I will tell Tedon to try the neutralizing agent on one of the captured beasts at once. Ooh, animal experimentation. Peter's gonna be pissed. Alright, so I think I've pretty much uncovered everything here. I mean, it may have already all been uncovered, but let's head on out to Azure Watch. But there may be situations like that where a lot of dialogue is going to be more or less passed up. Just because of the fact that it goes by very quickly, and although I could take a second and read all of it and everything like that, I think the gist of that was basically, hey, we can finally communicate with each other. It's about time. Sort of thing. So, you know. Alright, so this flash heal, I'm going to put that in 0. That is my thumb button on my mouse. Music is actually quite nice. I love the visuals in this game. I mean, they're vibrant. The saturation is definitely there. And it's just very colorful. It's a very colorful game. I am running the game on Ultra just so I can have... Because this game is actually... It's very rare that most games... I mean, this game comes from 2004, and they've improved it over the years. But if you turn everything down, it basically looks like it belongs in 2004. So it's one of the few games of the modern era that... low is not the same as high. Let's put it that way. The only thing I've turned down is I've put the view distance in half to reduce the pain on my system. Now, I could turn it up, but it's really not necessary. Though, I don't know. I might actually just turn it up. Screw it. Doesn't affect it that much, I guess. It can, but it's just like, you know, whatever. Priest, a couple mutated beasts jumped me, and my leg is injured. I was sent on a scouting mission from Azure Watch after we received word from Zana. Please, could you go speak with caregiver Kellen? Either Kellen or Chellen, in my stead. She needs to know how many people to expect in Azure Watch. Just cross the Crystal Brook River here and continue following the road until you get to Azure Watch. Be sure to ask her for a place for yourself to stay in. Dionisaka. I have no doubt that Blizzard came up with their own language for the Draenei, and probably and easily the trolls and every race possible, except for humans. I mean, humans speak English. Basic English. Let me go here. This is the fishing trainer.
Greetings, friend.
They changed the character. I'm pretty sure it was a man the last time. I don't know. I actually don't remember. Doesn't matter to me whether it's a man or a woman. I just remember it. I think it was a guy. Huh. Interesting. She looks like she's wearing something very sporty. I found that these waters are bustling with red snapper, a very tasty fish. With a fishing net, I can catch enough to feed dozens of Draenei. Unfortunately, I was recently attacked by a creature known as a murloc while netting in the river and have suffered some injuries that prevent me from doing my job. I need help. Use this fishing net near schools of red snapper found in the Crystal Brook River to the east to catch the fish. What do you say? Remember to return this net when you are finished. So that's pretty cool. If you're not familiar with the characters or the enemies in this game, she mentioned the murloc like even she had never even heard or seen of it before. So I think that's interesting. There's a red snapper. I love the way the water looks in this game. Oh, for God's sake. Can you guys just stop? Knock it off. I don't know why I just did that a second time. That was dumb. That was a waste of mana. Now, I think as of Legion, actually, the current expansion, they got rid of Spirit, which used to be a stat for healers. Not necessarily for Shadow Priest. Shadow Priest used Intellect, but Spirit was a way to regenerate your mana. And if you, as a healer, you wanted to focus on mana regeneration so you could consistently provide healing. As far as I understand, they got rid of it in Legion. And, you know, rest in peace, Spirit. I actually thought it was probably a good idea to have it. Because if you were a healer, you kind of need to continuously just keep healing. So, as far as I know with healers, you basically use Intellect, just like everybody else. Spirit is no longer a thing. So really, if I was to heal, I would definitely have to focus on just... I would have to focus on just having Intellect, as much Intellect as possible. I mean, I'm pretty sure, yeah. You got Intellect, increases the magnitude of your spells, so... you know, I think mana regen is basically just... as you can see, it's a basic stat. And it might be something extra that you have, but, yeah. So, I'm not entirely sure if I should blur out the names of people who hop online, because right now I'm showing offline so that way nobody messages me while I'm recording. I'm not much of a person who likes it when people message him in the middle of a recording, but okay, but I'm kind of curious as to whether I should blur out the names or not. I don't want people just going ahead and adding my friends randomly. Not that tons of people are going to watch my videos or do watch my videos, but, you know, I'd rather my friends not get hounded potentially by people who are, well, not welcome. I don't know. I don't know what I'm trying to say. I just don't think that, you know, my friends' names should be on screen. I don't know. I'll think about it. I haven't really worried about it before, so I don't think I should worry about it now. Because if I do that, if I blur the name up over here, that means I'd have to blur it in the chat as well, and I'd have to blur the entire chat, which, I mean, honestly, I don't really care too much about. I mean, I'm not using it, so if I blur the chat, it's not really that big a deal. Or maybe just in that one instance I can blur the chat. But I was kind of hoping that if I appeared offline, it wouldn't actually do that, but it does. So Oh, I also have something called, I believe it's called Dragon Silver or something. An add-on that shows... An add-on that shows where rare mobs are. So, as I suspected, you know, either it was going to happen whether I just started or somewhere in between. Jeremy messaged me asking if I wanted to hop into Curse, and I said I'm recording, so that'd be a no.
The Naru have not forgotten us.
Watch out for okay, that's the there we go. I hope the Murlocs didn't cause too much trouble, Lexia. I owe you a great debt of gratitude for all that you've done. Perhaps I could teach you how to fish. I'll even supply the fishing pole and a bauble. Cool. Didn't ask for it, but all right. Did a wonderful job, Lexia. Our people will be thankful for this bounty. With that said, would you mind taking this haul of red snapper to Actaeon at Azure Watch? He shouldn't be hard to find as he is awaiting his catch. Or this catch. Jeremy was like, he said he's doing one word questions, so he said curse. I said recording at the moment. He's like, means? And I'm like, means no. And then he calls me a slut. Because, you know, that's Jeremy. But don't sluts say yes? I mean, that's just what I know. As far as I understand sluts to be. Anyway, let's get off that. I like this starting area. I really do. I like the Draenei starting area. It's very pretty. Very colorful. Very purple. Purple is one of my favorite. It's my main favorite color. It's purple.
Arcanon Poros.
Purple means royalty. What do you think of my armor? Crafted it myself. It's a little different than what we traditionally wear, but extremely comfortable. Looks hairy. Poor Dictina? Dictina? That Murloc gave her quite a scare. Actaeon sighs. Hopefully she will recover from the injury soon. So I presume you're looking for work. Well, there's plenty of that to be found at Azure Watch. You're starting to make a name for yourself, Lexia. How about trying your hand at hunting? Back on Draenor, our greatest hunters would hunt a beast that resembled the moon-grazed stag of this region known as a talbuk. If you think yourself Draenei enough, go out into the wilds and kill enough stags to fill your pack with meat. You will find them grazing south of Azure Watch. Watch out for their horns.
May your days be long and your hardships few.
I'm not a hunter, though. Seriously, why are you sending me on a hunting trip?
Warm wishes.
I think I've cracked it, Lexia. Arn points to the totem. All that we need to know about the Stillpine Furbolg language is imprinted on their totems. With just a rudimentary understanding of how their symbols work, we can study the totems and learn to communicate with the Furbolgs. I've written down the basics of the symbol matrix on this parchment. Study it and then examine the totem. It should lead you to the next language totem. Speak to Aryugu. Aryugu? That's a name. When you return an educated Draenei.
Favor the road traveled by few.
Okay, so I need to read something. I need to read this. It teaches the user to better understand Stillpine Furbolg symbols. Let us do that now. It's a long time to read. The totem has various primal markings. To see you see owls, bears, wolves, and stags carved into the surface. You note a strange collection of symbols that makes your mouth form the word Akita. You begin to read the totem, barely able to pronounce the awkward words and phrases. Slowly, words start to form in your head. You think that the totem is telling you to go up the nearby hill to the northeast. Cool. Alright, let's get this travel point here, this flight path, as you will. Just grab it.
Warm wishes to you.
Ah, good to see you again. I'm glad that we're both able to get our emitters fixed, or we might never have found one another. And don't worry, we'll see to it that Amen Vale gets help and supplies. Speaking of assistance, now that you're here, go around and introduce yourself to the others. I know that there's plenty to do.
Well,
That's what we're looking for. More stuff, more story, more everything. Dude, this music easily can be used as like a trance type of music. Just keep playing this over and over again.
All prices here are reasonable.
Oh, you must be one of the survivors we've been hearing about. I'm glad that you came. Don't worry. We will send someone to see Aeun's injured leg. I'm most interested in hearing all about your harrowing story of survival. You're a brave one to have made it all the way here. See? Take the spring water. Welcome to Azure Watch, Priest. Please excuse the disorder you see around you. It's easy to take simple things for granted, like a fully furnished and stocked inn, until you're forced to build one from nothing. We've managed to salvage this pod for a building, but without the proper furnishings and first aid supplies, the inn is little more than a glorified tent. Nerguni at the Exodar has offered to put together a package to help with our most immediate needs, but I need someone to deliver this list to him. Will do. So, that's why we go all the way to Exodar, to deliver a package, because this inn needs supplies. In the fevered dreams of our injured guest, she spoke of a fisherman, Cowlin, who was in some distress at Silvermist Isle to the southwest, off the coast of Azurmist. With all that has been happening, no one has had the opportunity to look into it, but I do feel a bit of worry. Perhaps there's something you can do, Lexia.
May your days be long with your hardships.
Lexia is a pretty sexy name, isn't it?
Blessings upon you.
Sounds sexy. I have found that lashers milling about on the island hold restorative medicinal properties in their vines. I was going to say veins for a second there. Through proper treatment, the vines can be broken down into a powerful healing ointment. Unfortunately, with so many injured Draenei passing through Azure Watch, we are always in short supply. Our delicate guest was found injured and unconscious by the Crystal Brook only yesterday. If you bring me the vines, we may be able to save her. You will find root trappers both south and east of Azure Watch. I wonder if I should really kind of like enunciate Azure. Or should I just say Azure Watch? Or Azure? Azure? I don't know. Whatever. I think before I go to Exodar, though, I'm going to do these quests. Might as well do them while I'm here, so I don't have to keep flying back and forth. That's all I'm saying. Root Trapper Vine. Alright, that's a Moongrey Stag. I needed to kill that thing, but it's... It's not on my list. I'm guessing it's not exactly the one I need. And yes, I have played in the Draenei. You know, you can still help me kill this thing. You'll still count for you, you know. I don't think... But do most people know that you can? Picked the wrong fight, fledgling. And you give me nothing for your troubles. Thank you for doing that. Alright, I've only got 2 slots left, so I need to be vigilant with my bag space here. I think I'll take up tailoring. I mean, the thing is that I find it probably the most beneficial profession that you want to pick up is tailoring, because then you can make your own bags, and therefore you don't have to buy them from the auction house for mounds and mounds of gold. Well, actually, these are it. I mean, it's not showing down here, but, I mean, these are the guys I need to kill, so... I'm just gonna kill them and see if I get what I want. I cannot wait to be a Shadow Priest. This is gonna be awesome.
I can't carry
Yep.
anymore.
Okay, so that's,
Inventory is full.
cracked shell and whatnot. I need to sell crap. But, I mean, I was able to get the stag meat, so we're okay.
I can't carry anymore.
Yes, I know. Calm down. You can't carry anymore. I'll just, shift click. Got it set to auto loot, which I usually don't have it on, but at the beginning stages, you want to basically collect everything so you can sell it. But, I mean, I guess that's more or less for old days of World of Warcraft, you'd want to do that. New age World of Warcraft, I mean, I've already got 8 silver, and I know that's, I say already, and I've barely done anything, but, you know, I'll definitely have a lot more money once I start selling everything, which, really, that's what we're looking for here. I need as much money as possible. Who is this, and why is she... PvP? Is that a PvP character that you can attack? Why would you want to do that? She's hurt, I think? Or is she just being sneaky? I don't even know now. Alright, one more stag meat. Und then we be good to go. There you go. Now, if people would stop killing those guys, the trap roots, it'd be nice if I could get some. Seriously, this music could totally be used for, like, relaxation. It really could. I love it. I love it. They went, like, very ominous but beautiful. Just basically think about all those, like, meditation CDs that they used to sell. There's just, like, really calming, you know, noises and sounds and stuff, and the music was very trancey. That's basically what this sounds like. It puts you in a state of trance where you're just calm. You're calm and you turn into a hippie. Okay, so I can still collect those. Ah, man. I swear to God, this chair that I'm sitting in is going to kill me. It will. It's going to kill me. These trap roots are very few and far between, and I do not like this. They used to be more abundant. What the hell happened? Oh, my God. Well, that's what happened. There's another one over there that just got killed. It's a stag. You whore paladin. I wish their respawn time was a little bit faster. That'd be nice. Respawn time a little bit faster. There's one. I got you. You're mine. Look at this. I only have 2. Alright, so why am I doing this again? Ah, right. Restorative medicinal purposes. That's why I'm collecting their roots. Or their vines. Was it their vines? Yeah, basically vines. What am I talking about? Ah, that one didn't have one. Come on, man. I need your vines. Oh, found one over here. You see what that guy's wearing? That's BOA gear. And it's just, again, it's just boring. As powerful as it is, it's boring. It really is. It makes the game a little bit more boring because you're just looking at the same gear the whole time. I'd rather be various in my gear choices. I'd like to look different. But again, this playthrough is about the story, not the gameplay. So that's why I'm asking you guys if you want to see all the gameplay, or if you would like me to kind of like show a little gameplay but then cut to basically just encompass the story, you know, or the quest lines or whatever. Because this, I can imagine, can get very boring very quickly just watching somebody run around and kill things. But, you know, people stream this. I've streamed it. But I think, you know, obviously streaming and putting up a YouTube video, the quality is very, very different. Well, maybe not so much, actually, come to think of it, being that YouTube compresses your videos to garbage and makes them just awful to look at. Even though, okay, give you guys a little background on this. If you render out a YouTube video in Premiere Pro, they have a preset for YouTube videos at various resolutions, 720, 1080, 1440, 4K. The 1080p setting renders the video out at 16 megabits per second. That's a lot. It's very high quality. YouTube, when you upload it, compresses that to 4 megabits per second. That's, what is that? 1/4 of the quality. So, needless to say, I have been thinking about rendering out my videos again at 4K just so that the quality can be turned up if you have that capability. Because it just looks like crap at 1080p, which is just a weird thing to say. That felt weird saying that, hearing that come out of my mouth. The crap quality of 1080p, or at least 1080p quality is crap. It just makes no sense to me. But anyway, I digress. That is not what this video series is about. I need to stop talking about that stuff. This is about World of Warcraft, baby. It's about the story. I don't normally play female characters. It's not that I don't like them. I'm a guy. So playing guy characters is kind of a thing for guys to do. Alright, let's take a look. We can go over here. Go over here and finish this quest over here. This might be the hill that they were talking about that I had to go up. Yep. That is the hill that I need to go up. There's a pathway over here. But yeah, ever since watching the Battle for Azeroth trailer over and over and over again, because I am just super excited. I'm really happy to be back on Alliance. I don't care what you guys say. I've been Horde since Burning Crusade, so don't give me that. Secondly, it really geared me up to just do this series, because I feel, again, I feel very ashamed to call myself a fan, but not really know what this game is about, what the story is about, who any of the characters are, why they are the way they are, and the positions that they're in, all that stuff. The totem has various primal markings. You see owls, but oh wait. Oh, okay, I see. You note a strange collection of symbols that makes your mouth form the word coup. You begin to read the totem, better able to pronounce the words and phrases. Words start to form in your head. You think that the totem is telling you to go across the Crystal Brook River to the east. Perhaps your destination is on the other side of the river. But yeah, I had a lot of fun. Whoop. Stillpine Ancestor Coup. Okay, this guy wants me to follow him. See down here? I should probably make that text a bit bigger. Okay, Azure Summit is the only jump river find Tikti. So he gave me the ability to just float down. Hey, look at that. I feel like I would have had that by now. After all these years. So, I guess I'm going on the other side right there. And it helps me walk on water. That's awesome. But yeah, I feel like the Draenei are very, like, well, they're very spiritual. I don't know if they're more spiritual than, like, say, the Night Elves, but, I mean, they potentially could be. I don't know. Is that a snake? Totem of Tikti. You note a strange collection of symbols that makes your mouth form the word Tikti. Please don't attack me while I'm doing this. And you little... He did. I knew he was going to. Should have just killed him before I even read this. Get out of here. Go on. Get. Shoo. The symbols on this totem seem to translate much faster. The patterns and imagery all seem to blend into familiar words. You are fairly certain the totem is pointing you south down the river. Something is at the bottom of the river itself. You see how that guy came in, probably clicked on it, and then didn't even bother to read. Tikti asks that you follow him. Go. Search bottom river south. Gaze upon... So I can breathe underwater now. Swim speed increase, water breathing. Yep. Man, imagine if I could, like, do this all the time. Just swim this fast. That'd be awesome. You can do that in, with the seahorse mount in, what do you call it there? It's that one place that came with, oh, was it Wrath? No. Yeah, maybe. Might have been, yeah, it was Vashj'ir. There you go. Got it. See? I knew I was going to remember it eventually. It started with a V, and I was like, it's going to form eventually. Yeah, in Vashj'ir, you get the seahorse mount that goes like 450% regular speed. It's ridiculously fast. But I think that came with Wrath of the Lich King. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it did. It's awesome. Very, very interesting place, Vashj'ir. Wish I spent more time there. But that's kind of the point, isn't it? Doing all this. Maybe I will finally be able to spend as much time as I can in areas that I normally wouldn't have. Alright, you note a strange collection of symbols that makes your mouth form the word your. You no longer see unrecognizable symbology in the totems. The totem of your reads to you just as easily as your native tongue. The markings identify another Furbolg den due west of here. You are able to expertly decipher the language on the totem and know that your destination is Bristol Limb Village. Yor will guide you, but if you get lost, you know that you are able to take the ancient elven road in the forest leading west to reach your destination. Well, obviously I'm going to follow Yor. Come, Lexia, let us leave the water together, purified. Well, do it fast, man. I'm running out of time here. How am I able to swim faster than you? I mean, come on. Alright, I'm just gonna pop up here. I'm gonna wait for him. I'm just gonna click on him to make sure I can see him a little bit better. Are you gonna walk the whole way? Is that what's going on now? Now, again, with the changes that have come to World of Warcraft over the years, the Draenei, we go now together. We will seek Vark. The Draenei came with... Hey, follow me to Vark. The Draenei came in Burning Crusade, I believe. And so the story that is being presented to me right now could have been completely different back when the Draenei first came to be. So, yeah. What's strange, though, is that the Draenei actually existed during the period in which everything was kind of going to crap. And so, really, they were around during this whole conflict prior to the humans, the gnomes, the dwarves, everybody, according to the backstory. I don't know if it was accurate, but that's just what I understood. And so it was kind of strange that they didn't exist in the vanilla version of the game, even though, you know, they were part of things that came before. So, I don't know. Creative decision, I'm sure, because the Burning Crusade had to deal with the Burning Legion, which is interesting because Legion had to do with the Burning Legion. But I think it mostly had to do, the Burning Legion probably mostly had to do with Illidan being freed and basically seeking revenge, I believe, on the Burning Legion for what they had done to him. But, again, that's further down the road. There's a completely different... Oop, I hit the ceiling there. There's a completely different set of stories when you create a Demon Hunter. You know, you get to see all these cutscenes involving Illidan and whatnot, and so you get to understand the story of the Demon Hunters. But I'm not entirely sure if we'll see those cutscenes in this playthrough, to be honest. To be completely upfront with you guys, I don't know if we'll see those same cutscenes. Because you're not a Demon Hunter. You know, you're whatever class that you choose. So, we'll see what happens, though. Obviously, I could have just ran ahead of this guy, but I think, you know, it'll be fun. Follow this guy to where we need to go. I could have easily just did a straight shot. As you read the totem, your mouth forms the word Vark. You understand this to mean justice. The images on this totem depict a war between the Stillpine and the Bristol Limb Furbolg tribes. The etchings show that the Bristol Limb have done unconscionable things to the Furbolgs of Stillpine. Amidst the chaos, a prophecy has begun to unfold. A hero will rise, not of Furbolg blood, and save the Stillpine tribe. Slay Bristol Limb Furbolgs at Bristol Limb Village for their keys. Use the keys to free the Stillpine captives. Return to Arugu of the Stillpine when you have freed them all. Okay, good. I'm gonna unbecome a lion. There we go. Damn it. Always freaking late. There's so many people starting new characters. Go away. Mine. It's one tiny benefit. It looks like they... Damn it. Alright, I'm gonna have to get rid of other crap. Get out of here. I want that because I'm gonna need that for tailoring. It does seem as though a lot of things have changed with the mages, though. They've been using abilities that I've seen the last couple days that are definitely not abilities I've seen before that the mages have. So
inventory is full.
Get rid of that. I should have sold a bunch of stuff before I came out. It was really stupid of me. I need 8 keys in order to free these guys. And not every single one of these guys is dropping a key. So that's going to be something. Hopefully their respawn time is pretty short. Okay, we'll go over here. But yeah, I started reading the quests while I was on stream, and I had a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun doing that, and I'm having a much larger appreciation for the story as a whole, as well as the gameplay itself. It makes the gameplay more interesting, and it actually makes me want to quest more than instance runs, because the other night I was doing instance runs with Jeremy, and boy was I bored. Now, it may have just been the fact that they were basically like vanilla / BC dungeon runs, but I was bored, man. I was bored because I've done them so many times. But it also may just be that I'm bored of dungeon running. I mean, the only dungeons I really haven't delved into yet are the ones from Mists of Pandaria. I've done some of them, but not all of them. And so I'm sure that I'm going to want to do some dungeon runs when I get around to Mists of Pandaria. But overall, dungeons are kind of just there. You know what I mean? They're kind of just there. And again, I'm not entirely sure if... How many do I have? I have 6. I need 2 more. I'm not entirely sure if I'm going to include them in this, because I really just feel like the majority of story is in the questing. I mean, I know that for a fact, that when you look at your quest list, it tells you there's a major storyline for each section or each area that you go to. So so there is a story, an overall story to each area that somehow pertains to the main story. It all kind of works itself in it. Come on, one more, man. Come on. Give it to me. Give it to me. Let's do it. Alright, there we go. Now I can release all the prisoners. Well, as many as the ones that aren't actually already released. Oh my god, people. Fine, I'll take this camp over here. But yeah, again, I hope to get to a point where I'm just like, I throw a dot on this guy and he just died, or not just a dot, but a couple of dots, and he just dies because I just threw a bunch of spells on him and I just waited till he died. And I can just go about my business. That's what I love about the Shadow Priest. It's so powerful. But then again, you know, I've been told that it's been changed a little bit, and so I'll be interested to see exactly how changed it actually is. Oh, right, this is for the... Why did I do that again? This is for the totem. This is, hey, they're captives of ours. You need to go free them. Mine. Too late. Boom. The hell? Click on it. Jeez. Oh, you... I was hoping maybe it would just be like... see? It did it again. It did it again. Look at that. That's what I'm talking about. That seems to happen a lot lately, and I'm not sure what's going on. I have no idea what's going on with that. Oh, sure, his little tornado doesn't stop me. I guess maybe I should just stick around this camp. Because it seems like they respawn pretty quickly. But yeah, I'll be interested to see how different the Shadow Priest is now that it's had a few expansions. Apparently, that this one apparently changed how they function, and I'm not sure exactly what that means. It's like if I can throw a bunch of dots on enemies, I'm okay with that. You know, as long as that basic gameplay still remains with the Shadow Priest. But I have yet to see if that is the case. So, once I hit level 10, I don't know if I can actually just choose Shadow Priest right off the bat, but who knows? They, again, have made this game a lot easier than it used to be. And which is weird, because Cataclysm was supposed to make it the way it used to be, which was very difficult. And it certainly did nothing of the sort. Find Cowlin at the southeast docks of Silver Mist Isle off the coast of Azure Mist. Do I have to actually, like, travel all the way back there? Or all the way down there on foot? Okay, I guess, yeah, alright, let's get it done. Let's not waste any more time. I mean, I'm gonna have to go down there eventually, right? Might as well just go. Alright, so, injured guest. She spoke of a fisherman, Colin, who's in some distress. Okay. So this is, this was told to them by some, an injured fisherman. That, this guy. Oh, yeah! I remember this. I remember going over here. Now, I actually was planning on maybe doing this series as, like, me acting as this character, but then when I decided to be a female, I was like, well, that's not going to work now. Because I wanted to be a Shadow Priest, and I wanted to use the race that actually has the largest amount of intellect boost based on their race. And as far as I read, the Draenei have the largest intellect to start, just because that's part of their race. But I actually wanted to do a little bit more of like a role-playing aspect, and I kind of squashed that myself. I killed that idea immediately when I decided to be the Draenei and realized that the Draenei men do not look good as priests. They don't. And I know that seems a bit, what's the word I'm looking for? Vain, I guess, is the word I could use to just base it on the looks of the character. You know, it's, you still get the boost in intellect and stuff like that. But, I mean, the Draenei male does just not look good in robes. Like, they're beefy guys. So you want them to be like a warrior or a paladin or something. You know, you put a... Make them a priest. It's kind of like, meh. The females just look better as priests in this, in this aspect, in the sense of the race. But, like, human male and female, they look okay. You know, pretty much just about any other race on the Alliance side. Okay, Worgen also kind of look weird as priests, so I'm going to put them in that pool as well. Even female Worgens, I mean, you know, they turn into werewolves, so it's just like... It's a bit strange to look at. But pretty much all the other ones, the gnomes, the dwarves, the dwarves, the humans, night elves, they all look great. Even the men as priests. But the Draenei definitely, very specifically, the women look better than the men do as priests. I don't know if I've gotten any new gear yet.
Alone be with you.
What could I have done to give the gods cause to lash out at me with such ferocity? All that I cherished is gone, dead, or destroyed. My family taken from me by the brutes of the forest. My home razed. My ship sunk. I am a broken man, stranded on a broken island. Perhaps you are here to finish the job? Make it quick. I will not resist. Take my life, stranger. I am too cowardly to do it myself. My hand shivers. The blade will not strike true. Wow. That is dark. That is dark. Oh, let me do this. I basically said I've not come to kill you. If not the gods, who? How? What could cause such strife? I fear that my people are somewhat responsible for this destruction. We are refugees, displaced from our homes by the Burning Legion. This tragedy is a result of our latest evacuation. Our vessel crashed. This debris is part of that vessel. Legion? Demons? They hunt you? My people have also been hunted by Legion, targeted by their dark masters for damnation. Callan wipes the tears away. It is the reason that I moved my family here oh so many years ago. We have much in common, Night Elf. I can't help but feel that perhaps it was fate that brought us together. Let me help you, Callan. Let my people help. We will right the wrongs. This I vow.
The stars guide you. Hello.
That's cool. Pretty dark, though. Wow. My family, what have I done? What could I have done? Why must I be punished so? We had lived peacefully among the owl beasts of this island for many years. You can imagine my surprise when they stormed the beach and attacked us. I fought tooth and nail, but was easily overpowered. As I blacked out from the vicious blows that I had been dealt, I prayed that my family would not suffer. When I awoke, all was quiet. The sand was soaked red with blood, their blood. They were devoured whole. I care not for vengeance, Lexia. I only ask that their remains be returned to me for proper burial.
Till next we meet.
Hey, you're a stronger man than I, man. I would want revenge on all of those stupid owls. That's dark, man. See, this is what I'm talking about. I came here. I've done this before. I didn't read the quest. Had no idea why I went in here to kill the Alkin. They were just... I just went in here because they were, you know, what I was supposed to kill. But I had no idea the reason. And that is some dark stuff, man. Because of the Draenei crash landing into Azure Mist Isle and Blood Mist Isle, this guy's family was killed probably because the crystals turned these owl beasts mad. It's probably because of the crystals.
I can't carry anymore.
And the owl beasts turning mad because of our crystals, they turned on his family, even though they had been living amongst them for many years with no problems, and killed his family.
Is full.
And that is dark, man. Wow. That honestly just, like, kind of takes me back a little bit.
I can't carry anymore.
Dude, I just want his family's remains. Why can't you just give them to me? Ooh, got it. Doesn't matter. Does not matter. I like this new system. They basically made it the Diablo way. Everybody has their own loot, and you don't have to be in a party to kill things. Nobody can steal your kills anymore, which is great. Thank God, because that was a problem back in the day. It was such a big problem.
Inventory is full.
I know. I really need to clear out my inventory. This is why I'm going to take up tailoring, which honestly, and level up. Which honestly, I think I'm going to grab that when I get back to Azure Watch. Yeah, I hope you guys are enjoying your time here. I really do. I just think that with all the games that have come out in recent years, a lot of emphasis goes on to, of course, you know, multiplayer only, microtransaction filled crap. And all the emphasis is on just games as a service instead of games as a medium to enjoy a story. And World of Warcraft is kind of both. It is a service, but most importantly, it's one of the largest MMOs in the history of gaming, and also has one of the deepest storylines of any games that have come before and after it. One of the deepest, not the deepest, but one of the deepest for sure. And it's just something. Hey, there we go. It's just something that it's interesting how my inventory is full, and yet I was still able to collect that. Was I? I wasn't. I was. Where did it go? Alright, that's weird. I guess it's kind of like, well, this is a quest item, so you're allowed to not have to worry about bags. I guess. I don't know. That was weird. Anyway. And so I want to share that with you guys. I want to share my experience with you guys. I want to share with you guys the story of this game. Whatever story is contained within this game itself. If I really wanted to share the story of Warcraft with you guys, I'd have to go back to playing the original Warcraft, which I do not have, and they don't sell. They don't sell the first or second Warcraft games on the digital store, which is strange because they just remastered StarCraft 1, which is fine. I love StarCraft. but, you know, they have Warcraft 3 and Diablo 2, but not Diablo 1, not Warcraft 1, not Warcraft 2. They could put all their games up. I mean, I think they even have the Vikings, the Lost Vikings. I'm not even 100% on that. My wife was named Thalrissa, and my daughter, Magwyn. Thank you, Lexia. Their spirits will be at peace now.
Alone light your path.
You're welcome, my friend. Be at peace. I feel bad for that guy. Like, inadvertently, we caused the death of his family. How messed up is that? Seriously. That is some messed up stuff. Inadvertently, okay, it wasn't on purpose, but it still happened. The guy's family is dead because we arrived here. Well, we crash landed here. It's kind of sad, really, when you think about it. I don't think I've gotten any new gear, though. Yeah, like, this is all my old stuff. Wow. I got a lot of stuff. A lot of it which is not gear. That's okay. Don't worry. Don't worry. All right. I really, I may not even worry about that. I mean, I'd have to watch this whole 2-hour segment just so that I could hopefully catch each time one of my friends signs in and on and offline. But I don't think they're going to be bothered by anybody. To be completely honest, I'm not that popular. So it's a bit conceited of me to even think of such things. I just hit 300 subs. And, well, I've never once thought I was really popular, let's be honest. I'm going to be straightforward. Not once have I ever been popular enough to a point where it's like, oh, I got to hide my friends' names. Ah, you guys are fine. The audience that I entertain, where did I hop off? I didn't see these guys before. I know I'm going to be coming here to face these guys. I know that for a fact, eventually. So we got to uncover all this. I know for a fact that the audience that I entertain on Twitch and on, I imagine, on YouTube, you guys are pretty respectful of not only me, but also everyone around you, which is fantastic. Now, fingers crossed we don't run into any of Logan Paul and Jake Paul's fans, because those guys are nuts. So I'm gonna climb up here, go around those Naga guys. I don't wanna have to go through them and kill a bunch of them just to get where I need to go here. But we're already an hour and 40 minutes into this. Means we got 20 minutes left, and we're not off the first island because we're really experiencing the game. I really feel good about this. But what it's going to come down to is whether you guys do actually leave comments, okay, and tell me, do you want the 2 hours or do you want it cut down? Because I'm okay to do either one. Again, I'll show a little bit. I'll show getting the quests, and then I'll go cut to a, you know, like, I'm going to give you guys a rough idea as to what I'm thinking here. I show getting the quest, reading it, understanding it, whatever, then cutting to where I needed to go, cutting out all this running, and then cutting back. I mean, really, it's not going to be that cut and dry, no pun intended, but it'll be something close to that. You know, if the quest doesn't take too long to get to, like the area I need to go to kill whatever or gather whatever, like it's right next to where I grabbed the quest, I'm not going to cut to, you know, 5 feet to the left. I'm just going to let it run out. But like situations like this where I had to go to an entirely different island, I think kind of allows itself to be cut to instead of letting you or making you guys watch me run all this way, you know. And the only reason I would leave it at the 2 hours is because I think to have the full experience, that's what I would need to do. You know, I mean, you can't do enough in an hour, especially with a game of this magnitude. Same thing with Skyrim. That's why those episodes I know there was a period of time where I cut them down to an hour to save time for myself to render out because I was still working off of my old computer, which was much slower to render. But once I got the new computer, then I bumped it back up to 2 hours. And it's just important because to experience the full game, cutting stuff out seems wrong. Okay? Especially if you're not a World of Warcraft person. But let's just say you've never played it, never really planned on playing it, but you like a good story. I think this could be it. Just like Skyrim. Both excellent stories. Probably World of Warcraft is a little bit better of a story, but, you know, they've had many years to develop it. Some people argue against Skyrim having a decent story, but I think it's okay. All right. Oh, yeah, this is the guy with the stag tenderloins. That took a while. Well done, Lexia, well done. Here, I cooked up some tenderloins while you were gone. Maybe you'd like the recipe, too. Ah, boy, I'm not going to be able to hold that. Where's a salesperson? I need a sales guy or woman. Battle pet trainer. There we go. Let's sell the crap, shall we? All right, click search. There's clean up bags. Bag slots, character. Okay, well, I know what I need to sell. Oh my god, I completely forgot to put on my new weapon. So, I lied. I actually do have, see, in the fishing pole, you know, I'm not planning on fishing anytime soon, so. That's a cooking reagent, but I'm not going to. I don't think I can. Yeah, I can sell those by accident, so I'm not going to do that. We need the vines. Need that. Okay. There's a. That's 2 and 4. This is 5 and 8. Okay, sell that. Sell that. Salt the bags. What they mean by clean up.
May your days be long and your hardships few.
Long days? Ugh, I don't know about that.
Arcanon Poros.
All right. Well done, Lexia. Well done. Now, you already said that, dude. Now that you've cut your teeth with Moongray's stag, it's time you graduated to more formidable prey. Do not allow the casual disinterest of the Moongray's bucks to fool you. When provoked, they are fearsome. They are a fearsome foe. You'll find the bucks north of here. Good hunting.
Be well.
I'll get a cloak for this. Let's there's my new staff that I failed to get to put on. All right, so 2 stamina for eating all that. Broken Fang I don't need. I don't know why I kept that. Didn't mean to. Okay, so she's a first aid trainer. I don't really need first aid, even though, like, you know, it's one of the basic ones. It's not the ones that you can just choose from. I don't really need it. Besides, I want to use all my cloth that I gather for tailoring. Let us hope that this ointment will strengthen her spirit. There's alchemy, herbalism, general goods. Ah, this guy's an overall profession trainer. Nice. Let's get to our tailoring. Did I say tailoring? Tailoring. Train me in tailoring. Thank you. Gotta get started early. You have to get started early, otherwise you are basically screwing yourself out of... and back in the early days, boy, you had to wait to get a profession. You had to wait for a little bit, not like too long, but you had to wait. For Bolg, the prophecy spoke of one that would rise and deliver us from the oppressive grasp of Bristlelim. That spirits themselves would herald the arrival of this hero, and now you have come. I humble myself before you, Great One. Is that new staff again? Promised One, you must travel north to the home of my people, Stillpine Hold. It is there that you will face your most daunting challenge. Now go now. High Chief Stillpine awaits your arrival. Oh, that's okay. That's the one where I have to go to Exodar. What did I get? It was a staff, wasn't it? Nope, it was a wand. Ooh. it's ranged, but this covers 2 hands, so yeah, just gonna. And it's only 1 to 3 anyway. An alternative. That's funny. The girl is too far gone for mere ointments to be effective. There may be another way. The forest of Azure Mist holds many secrets, one of those being a rare plant known as the Azure Snapdragon that some claim to be a... How do you say that? Panacea? A cure-all. I hope that's how you say that. You can identify the plant by its stark contrast to the other plants of Azure Mist and its need to grow at the base of an azure pine, of the azure pine trees. Make haste, and Lexia, be wary of the root thrashers of the region as they consume Snapdragon for sustenance. Well, how dare they? Alright, so let's go to my skills here. Let's get this down here, shall we? Alright, I'm just going to click on this. I'm going to need to make... bolt. Alright, so I'm just going to create all these. Again, I'm a priest. I can heal myself. For now. Later on, I'll be a shadow priest. But, again, that's what food is for and stuff like that. I mean, it's really... I'm not too worried. Potions. If I come across them. It seems potions are few and far between these days. What is this? That's for 1 hour. Okay, so I could potentially use that. Maybe next time. Alright, cool. Alright, now we've got Azure Snapdragon bulbs. They are all over the place. We've got only about 13 minutes left, so I'm going to do these last few quests as quickly as I can. If I can't get through them, then we will pick it up in the next episode. You guys will also notice that I have not put episode numbers in the intro video. It's just basically so that I don't have to, you know, re-render the intro every single episode. Saves on space, and also, I'll just put it in the title. You guys can read, right? Probably better than I can. Example A. This entire series started off with a bang. Me not being able to read very well. But what can I say? It's been a long day, so, you know. I've made a new intro, 2 new intros actually. Got super excited because Overwatch released its new Retribution co-op mode, which is awesome. It's short, but it's fun. It'll help me get the weekly loot boxes faster because it's short. Play it on normal. All you have to do is win, and bing, bam, boom. You've got 9 games done and over with. You got 9 free loot boxes. Oh, did I already get all of them? Wow, I lost track. Like, I'm not even kidding. I thought I had at least 1 more Snapdragon. Yeah, Snapdragon bulb to get. And I already got all 5. Hey, what do you know? But yeah, my main character is a Blood Elf Hunter, but he's technically going to be... No, I guess you could say he's my main Horde character. My main Alliance character is a Paladin. That I wanted to be a Protection Paladin, but I was forced to change to Retribution because people suck in the lower levels. They just go off and do whatever they want without any kind of idea of consequence for the tank not being able to take the aggro off them. So, needless to say, I quickly switched to Retribution so I didn't have to deal with that. But maybe later I'll go back to Protection. I do like playing tank, but I don't know. The other night I just didn't feel like being a tank. It does take a lot. It takes a lot to be a tank. It takes a lot to be a healer. To be a damage dealer, it's like brain dead. Like, you don't have to really think much. You just go up and you just do your abilities. Bing, bam, boom. There you go. Wish I had more abilities. Yeah, I still only have these 3. But right there, Shadow Priest right there. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, it's level 10. So, yes, I'm going to release this video at the full 2 hours. And then you guys let me know if that's okay. And if it's not, then I will adjust. I don't have any problem doing that. But, again, really have to take into consideration, you know, what kind of experience that you guys want. I think it's important to have the full 2 hours of the video because that gives you guys the full experience of not only the story itself but also the questing aspect of it. Allows you guys to experience the game with me as I level up and grow as a character. Oh, go away. What do you know? It's already set to flash heal. That's exactly what I was going to do anyway. See, look at this. Spells. Bam. Flash heal. These other spells I don't have yet, so I'm just going to leave them off. Let's just do this real quick. Let's, dude, Renew is like one of the... Priests are the best healers. I don't care who you are. I've played Druid. I've played Shaman. They're not as good as the Priest. IMO. But not just based on my opinion, based on my experience as well. It's just they're not as good.
I need a target.
You know, they may not have all the freaking AoE heals, but they definitely can focus healing. And it's actually pretty straightforward with the Priest. You just slap Renew on most of the people that are, like, not the tank. The DPS... Hey, look at that! The crystal you found on the Night Stalker Runt's body appears to be a piece of the Exodar. This may help explain the unusual appearance and demeanor of some of the animals in this region. Take the crystal back to Azure Watch. The Exarch will surely want to know about this discovery. What was I saying? Oh yeah. Basically, you know, you throw Renew on damage dealers if they need it. If they do take damage, you just throw up a Renew on them, and then the tank is your focus, which is pretty much how it goes with healers. No matter what type of healer you are, your focus needs to be on the tank and keeping the tank alive. Everybody else is kind of like secondary to that, which is, you know, kind of a bad way to look at it, but I mean, you have to think, if the tank doesn't exist, then everybody dies. So, you know. That's just how that is. We're actually pretty good though. Almost. We're gonna hit level 8 before we end this video. That's for sure. And that's good because that means we're 2 levels away from. We're just 2 levels away from getting our Shadow Priestiness going. So we're going to go back and turn in most of these quests. As you can see, they're all right there. We're going to turn these in, and then we'll end the video there. Oh, man. I honestly could listen to this music all day. I'm not even lying. It's been awesome. Sometimes there's some pieces of music in this game that do kind of get annoying after a while. This is not one of them. It's very calming, very non-obtrusive, if you catch my drift. Like, it's not in your face all the time. It's just there. It's in the background, like, you know, the bird noises and all that stuff. The sounds of the forest.
Each day is a blessing.
Do not waste time, girl. Watch as the plant works its magic. Level up. Where's he going? Is he talking to himself? You literally could have just walked right there. It's right here. I mean, look at this. And he went, whoop. Wake up, little creature. Wake up from your slumber. You are safe now. Well, look at that. Where am I? What is this place? By the light of a loon, Eridar, cursed demons, What have you done to me? I have not come alone. We will fight you as we have a blah, blah, blah. Okay. So just having a little conversation of their own there, ladies.
Not forgotten us.
The prophet spoke of this day, that on this island, in the New World, our allies would find us. We will be tested. They will ask that we pay for the sins of our fathers. At the time, I did not understand the meaning behind his words, but seeing this creature and her reaction to us, it is now coming into focus. The corruption of our people has been felt even here. Venture south. It is there that we found this being. Find its kin and tell them of our people.
Remember the lessons of the past.
Will do, sir. I'm gonna talk to this guy.
The legion's
You're the one I'm bringing the
end.
crystal to. How did such a thing end up in the stomach of a Night Stalker? Could the debris from the crash have contaminated more beasts? Oh, she got this out of... I got that out of the stomach of the thing? Oh, well, I mean, makes sense. Where else would I get it from, right? You know, when you think about it, this game's brutal. I'm not going to make any excuses for what you found. This is clearly our fault. We had gotten reports of crushed crystal fragments showing up in the river to the east, but chose to ignore the implications. Now we can either sit around on this island and cry about the tragedy that has befallen this land, or we can do something about it and prevent it from spreading. If you've got the stomach for it, I want you to go back into the wilds and kill as many of the infected Night Stalkers as you can find.
Good health. Long
Oh, I've got the stomach for it. Question is, do you have the coin for it? I'll kill as many as you want. I'm just kidding. Lexia is not that brutish. She's actually very elegant and very intelligent. And that's not just because she's a priest.
Open your
Get it?
heart to
Intellect?
the light.
Yada, yada, yada. You know what I mean. Oh, that's just asking him questions. The buck hides are rugged and strong, making for very tough flesh. Almost inedible, but we can use them for other purposes. Wonderful. You're turning into quite the hunter, Lexia. How would you like to look more like me? Well, here is your chance. While you were out hunting, I fashioned these items out of some buck hides I had laying around. Take your pick. Well, I've only got one choice. It's not really much of a pick, now is it? Action. Alright, let's do that. We'll sort this here, and that'll do it. But now we look like we've got a cape. She looks so cute. We're gonna stand here by this crystal. How about that? Turn around, turn the camera around, get rid of the UI, and end on a nice close-up next to this crystal, which is actually very cool. But that's going to bring this first inaugural episode to a close. I think inaugural is the right word. But this first episode to a close. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed what I'm trying to do here. I'm just trying to not only educate myself, but also bring a more literate approach to video games and really show that there are games that have fantastic stories that need to be told. And although this game may be far from what it started out as, there's still a story here, and it's a story that I would love to keep continuing to explore, and I hope you guys are willing to join me on that journey. But that's going to do it for me today, guys. Thank you so much for joining me, and join me again in the next video where we'll pick right back up here and continue our journey into the World of Warcraft. If you like this episode, hit that like button. Dislike it if you hate MMORPGs. Subscribe if you haven't already. Don't forget to check the links in the video description below, especially the one for Extra Life. Still trying to raise that $200 for children's charity, and I could really use the help. If you can't give, don't worry. It's only $200. We'll get it by the end of the year, I promise you that. But if you can give, don't hesitate to donate. Until next time, guys, I'm Adam Wolf. This is World of Warcraft, and I will see you guys in the next one.